I've gotten so much interest on my Lake Lanier videos lately, I thought I would do a quick summary of the timeline as I've researched it. Let's start with way before the lake existed, with the Chattahoochee River in the 1800s. This map from 1823 shows where different Native American tribes lived. The Cherokee people lived west of the Chattahoochee mainly. The Indian Removal Act was passed in 1830, forcing the Cherokee and the Creek tribes from Georgia to Oklahoma via the Trail of Tears. Thousands of natives died due to this inhumane event. Then came the Civil War in the 1860s. Georgia was left devastated after the war and was slow to reconstruct, but one community began to thrive. That was the city of Oscarville. Oscarville was comprised of mostly black residents who were successful landowners, farmers, and tradesmen. In 1912, a young white resident of Oscarville, May Crow, was found murdered. 3 black residents were unjustly accused of the crime. Their names were Ernest Knox, Robert Edwards, and Oscar Daniel. They were ultimately murdered by a mob of angry white residents. The white residents drove the black residents out of Oscarville, threatening them with violence and burning their property. After 1912, Forsyth County famously did not have a single black resident live there for over 70 years. Oprah Winfrey even came to discuss this tense topic on her show in the 1980s. Fast forward to the 1950s, several decades after the racial events in 1912, the U.S. federal government decided they needed to build a dam and create a lake, primarily to prevent detrimental flooding of the Chattahoochee that happened every year. The Atlanta metro area was growing and needed power production and a water source, which were the other reasons for the lake's creation. The government used the power of eminent domain, which allowed them to seize private property for public use. 56,000 acres of land had to be acquired by the government. These records are examples of projects that needed to be relocated in order to create the lake. Some cemeteries are included, but there was certainly no way all the cemeteries could have been moved. Many freestanding structures, bridges, and even forests remain in place as the flooding inched higher and higher. Around this time, in 1958, 2 women were killed in a car accident, Susie Roberts and Delia Mae Parker Young. Many witnesses say they've seen Delia Mae's spirit haunting the area in her blue dress, and she's been dubbed the Lady of the Lake. Over 700 lives have been claimed at Lake Lanier since its creation in the 50s. Today, there are an average of 12 souls lost every year. Some reasons for this are the structures that were left underneath create obstacles for swimmers and boaters. Many speculate that the lake is cursed or haunted, though, due to the many unjust events on which the lake was created. There's just so much to learn and uncover about the history of this lake. I feel it's important to talk about the history, the controversy, the mystery, and the natural beauty of this area. Thank you for watching.